What's up, March? It's your boy Heyman Guy here to bring you my very first review of WWE's NXT on the WWE Network. In honor of today's first NXT review, I've decided to bust out my Bo Dallas Bo Leaves shirt that I got when I went to SmackDown a couple weeks ago. If anyone out there doesn't happen to know what NXT is, it is the developmental program for the WWE where they train and groom these guys to eventually bring them up to the main roster on both Raw and SmackDown. So, with that out of the way, let's get right into the show. The first segment, match of the night, was the number one contender for the NXT Championship, Tyler Breeze, against Angelo Dawkins. Pretty straightforward, basic match. Breeze beat down Dawkins for a few minutes, and then he hit him with the spinning wheel kick that he calls the beauty shot, and got the 1-2-3. I enjoyed this match. I enjoyed seeing the aggressiveness out of Tyler Breeze. When the Tyler Breeze character first started, it was just a male model character who would do anything to avoid being hit in the face, a la Hollywood Miz, the money maker. And he didn't show any aggressiveness. He would only win a match by basically a quick roll-up, or he would hit his spinning wheel kick, the beauty shot, out of nowhere. As time has evolved, he's developed a much more aggressive in-ring style, and it's been wonderful to watch the evolution of Tyler Breeze. That's one of the things I enjoy about the NXT program, is watching the evolution of these people as they develop their characters and they figure out what does work and what will not work. After the match, Tyler Breeze gets on the microphone and he says he has a huge, monumental announcement. He has gotten his music video under consideration to be nominated for an Oscar under the documentary category. People, fingers crossed that it will get nominated and that his music video will hopefully win an Oscar. He goes to show his music video again, and he is interrupted by the NXT champion Adrian Neville. Now, I like Adrian Neville. I find him fun to watch in the ring. He's not a great promo cutter, and what's annoying about it is he delivers his lines well. He doesn't seem to be scared to go out there and cut a promo, but he's got such an accent that it sounds like he's got marbles in his mouth when he talks, and it's just distracting. When he gets to the main roster, he's going to need a mouthpiece. The name I've had in consideration for a while would be William Regal, but I don't know if they want to do anything with him. With that being said, Neville comes out and he basically wants to know when Breeze is going to decide to face Neville for the NXT Championship. Breeze deflects that by saying that Neville is needed on the set of The Hobbit. I enjoyed that. I thought that was funny. Neville comes back and says that Breeze's mom, his mom, Snapchatted him, and that Breeze isn't the only one in his family who likes to take selfies. Breeze takes exception to this, goes to attack Neville. Neville gets in a couple punches, and Breeze gets out of the ring. This was a good little segment, it kept the feud going forward between Neville and Breeze, and I look forward to when they eventually do face each other for the NXT Championship. Up next, we got JoJo from season 1 of Total Divas. She does still exist. She is still under contract to WWE. JoJo is in the back interviewing Natalya, who's excited that Adam Rose is going to be there tonight. She likes Adam Rose. She finds him entertaining. She's interrupted by her husband, Tyson Kidd, which I've got to say, these past several weeks that Tyson Kidd has been on NXT, I've thought they've been great for his career. He's really gone down there, and I feel like he's rejuvenated his career, and he's found something that may work on the main roster. And if it doesn't work on the main roster, I honestly believe that Tyson Kidd can be a WWE lifer by being both a talent in NXT and maybe being a trainer down there. I think he's the kind of guy that would be perfect for that type of role. With that being said, Tyson says that Adam Rose is a guy who has squandered all the opportunities that he's had on the main roster, and Tyson basically challenges him to a match later tonight, so that is if Adam has the rosebuds to face him. So we get Tyson Kidd and Adam Rose set as the main event for tonight. We cut back to the announcers, which is Renee Young, Byron Saxton, and I believe it was Tom Phillips. I'm sure someone will correct me if I'm wrong, but we got a number one contenders tournament announced for the NXT Tag Team Championships. I know NXT's taped several weeks in advance, but I personally try not to look at the spoilers. I don't know if they're in the tournament or not, but if they are, my pick to win is Enzo Amore and Big Colin Cassidy. So I'm sure you guys will hold me to that prediction, but we'll see who wins the tournament down the road. Up next, we got the daughter of Ric Flair, Charlotte, the NXT Women's Champion, going one-on-one with Becky Lynch, who was actually trained by recent WWE signee Prince Devitt. So just a little factoid there for you guys. This was a good little back and forth match. Charlotte was working heavily on the legs of Becky Lynch. Becky made a little comeback, hit a couple moves, but eventually the damage done to the legs was just too much. Charlotte got Becky down to her knees and she hit her move, which I believe she calls bow down to the queen, which is a flip over cutter while the person is on their knees. So good little match. I really enjoy watching Charlotte. She is definitely the best of Ric Flair's daughters, or excuse me, best of Ric Flair's children, and I think she'll do very well on the main roster eventually when she gets called up. My only critique with her is I don't care for that finishing move she does, like I said, the flip over cutter. I think I would use, she's got this figure four headlock, which looks it looks great and it looks brutal both. I think I would consider using that as my finishing move. But that's just a small critique. I enjoy Charlotte and I enjoyed what was offered here tonight. Up next we get JoJo again. She's still under contract. Apparently they have found something for her to do. And she's interviewing the man who never slows down. He always stays hyped. Mojo Rawley, who he's looking for a tag team partner for the tag number one contenders tournament. He says he does not care who his partner is, and he even suggests that JoJo be his partner, and they can be Team Mojo Jojo. Okay. Mojo's interrupted by the last of a dying breed, Bull Dempsey. And Bull says as much as he hates this, he needs a partner, Mojo needs a partner, and they agree to team up for this tournament. This is, it's a decent little pairing. I can see eventually Bull Dempsey turning on Mojo and we get a match between the two down the line. So that's where I see this going. We'll just have to wait and see. After this, we got Connor and Victor of the Ascension, and they face two jobbers. I didn't even catch their names. I figured it wasn't even a big enough deal to catch their names. They went with their shoulder block offense. They hit a ton of shoulder blocks, and then they finished the match off with a combination spinning shoulder block, spinning forearm shot and leg sweep. It's not quite the same move, but every time I see it done, I think of the Eliminators, Perry Saturn and John Cronus from ECW. And every time I see it done, all I can think is Joey Styles yelling, "Total elimination!" Which I hurt my throat just now just doing it once. I don't know how Joey Styles did it so many times. But they won with the Fall of Man move, and they cut a promo after the match basically saying, "We've been champions for over 300 days. We are unbeatable." And one of them says that the end result for whoever wins the tournament is total annihilation. Which, I have a question for those of you watching. Can someone trace the roots back to the yah stuff that the NXT Universe chants during their matches? I don't really know where it started from, and I quite personally would like to be informed if anyone does know where that started. So, up next, we got a small little CJ Parker vignette, basically just recapping the small feud between him and Xavier Woods. I like the CJ Parker character, the kind of the angry hippie. I don't think it would work well on the main roster, but I enjoy it down here in NXT. Up next, we got a match between Mojo Rawley and Bull Dempsey against the newly formed team of the Mechanics. Dash Wilder, and the returning Scott Dawson. I always liked Scott Dawson when he was with Sylvester Lefort. Dawson, for those of you that don't know, broke his leg, and this was his first time back on WWE TV since then. Him and Dash Wilder formed the team of the Mechanics. Now, these two guys, they're not car mechanics. They are mechanically sound in the ring. If you listen to Steve Austin's podcast, he constantly refers to himself from his early days in his career as a good mechanic, someone who was a good hand in the ring. So that's the idea behind the name. We got a good little match between the Mechanics and Bull and Mojo Rawley. Again, pretty basic. Bull and Mojo picked up the win, gaining some momentum for them towards the tag title tournament. And the end result of the match was Bull Dempsey. He hit it's basically a body slam finisher. I wish Bull Dempsey would change his move. He's a big guy. Maybe use some sort of splash. But they won the match, and like I said, I like this little pairing going up because I see it leading to a Bull Dempsey turn on Mojo and them having matches from there. So after that, we got our main event of the evening, Tyson Kidd against Adam Rose. Now, before I go into any details about the match, I'll just straight up say this is the best I've seen Adam Rose look since he was Leo Kruger. This is the best I've seen him look under the Adam Rose character, and it shows that when you give someone more than 2 minutes in their match, they can be impressive. They really can. So, with that being said, as soon as the match starts, we get chants of Natty's husband from the NXT universe. And Adam Rose, he slips out of the ring. He hands Natalya a lollipop. Now, that's going to come into play later on in the match. The match starts, and it's basically Tyson Kidd dominates most of the match. Tyson, he looked very good. He looked vicious compared to how he's looked in the past. So they're going back and forth, and eventually Tyson, he sees the lollipop again. He gets mad at Natalya. He gets back in the ring, and Adam Rose rolls him up for the 1-2-3 and the win. And good little match, Tyson's at the end of the show is just sitting there dejected, Natalya's trying to console him, but it's not working. And I'm really enjoying this slow burn between Tyson Kidd and Natalya. I don't think it's going to be too much longer, and Tyson's just going to snap on Natalya and be the biggest heel that NXT has ever seen. But that was this week's NXT. I thought it was a fun little episode. I mean, on a scale of 1 to 10, I'd probably give it a 7. NXT is just a good time. I like to call it my favorite hour in wrestling because it's developmental. Even if I see something I don't like, it's okay. These guys and women are figuring things out, and if it doesn't work, they'll change it up next week. So, with that being said, guys, thank you for watching my first review of WWE's NXT program. If you have any feedback, please share it. And if you like this video, please feel free to share it with your friends. So, again, thanks for watching, and until next time, you guys, keep on marking out.